Well, hello
Hey,
there.
oh my
How's everyone doing
goodness.
today? Isn't it
What's
lovely?
going on?
Well, I know, Spesh, you've been missing in action the past couple of days, but it's fine. Listen,
Yes,
we all
indeed,
have lives to live,
baby.
and we are so glad to see you and all of our other super fans. We got
I see
Eccentric
eccentric and
and
I,
Tyra and
freaky
Freaky McNasty.
McNasty.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Wait, in the to eccentrics in my best time, in my best bougie girl voice. Hey, eccentric, with your supermodel self.
Exactly. So how's everyone doing today?
Y'all all right? Happy y'all made it.
Hallelujah. It's kind of warm in here.
It's just a little bit.
I
I don't
need,
know.
I need my fan.
Is we going through the pause?
Yeah,
Is this
this
menopause?
is menopause,
Is that
honey.
what this is? Is it
That's what it
menopause?
is. It is
Ooh, I feel
menopause.
like I do. And it felt a little bit better with a little breeze. But
Yeah, turn that fan on. Just go ahead and turn
is
the.
it gonna be a little too loud?
No,
Are they gonna be able to hear
it was
us?
on last week and no one
Are they gonna
noticed.
be able to hear us and
So
stuff?
we're gonna turn the
Just
fan on and
hold
then
one
let
second.
us know if y'all hear the fan. She's stretching. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that should be fine. And look who's joined us, Boy Midas.
Hey,
We haven't
listen,
seen you in a minute.
baby boy. I'm so glad you subscribed, and got your notifications and everything else. So that way you will not have to be bothered with me telling you it's 8 o'clock.
Ooh, somebody putting your
every
business on the
Wednesday.
street.
See that one, I'm ignoring that one because see that one I don't even know what the heck she talking about.
Mhm.
See, there was no DNA appointment from the other day. See that's what's wrong with people. See they they can't. The girls always want to try you and everything.
Always, they always.
I
in your
love them to
business.
death. Listen, I will kill a
She's
bitch dead over him. But
always in
but
your
she always got to
business.
try it. She always got to try it. And it was not a DNA appointment. It was a date. That's all. Nothing else.
Oh, Shantae got a man at home?
No, not at all. And I don't, what? I don't know if you're watching or not, but it's not going to work for me. That's not how I really would like to have that conversation. But if you are watching, it's not going to work.
Hold on 1 second. Just hold that thought.
Oh yeah.
Just hold it.
Anyway, and of course, I have the people from one of my Facebook and conversation groups that I have that wants to call every Wednesday around this time. And I know it's not specifically me, but they're calling, and it's just kind of like
answer them.
But y'all know, no,
you know who it.
I know it's a whole group, and I'm not. No,
so did you tell your friend?
I think it's better that I tell you now. I haven't had that conversation with him yet.
I think it's better that I tell you now. Not you.
He's so sweet and good. I can't let him go. Y'all don't want that harmony.
Exactly.
Y'all don't want that harmony.
Exactly.
Y'all don't want
y'all not ready.
That harmony.
Y'all not ready.
Y'all not ready.
Y'all not ready. Y'all are not ready.
They're just not ready.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's I'm not going to say any names, but someone that I met a long time ago. We've always been in good contact. We, very cordial and everything. And I just don't, I just don't feel it. And I'm not even. I was actually talking to the best friend.
The girls was trying to read. She said, "Was that harmony or dial tone?"
See. The read is dial is spelled DIAL.
Right. So if you want to read, honey, spell it correctly, honey.
No. But
it's just not it.
It's just not it. And I'm trying to I was trying to reconcile.
The word of the day is no.
Yeah, it's no. But you know, you have to try to reconcile for yourself. So for me, well, and I'll say for both of us, as men of a certain age, you get to a point where you're like, I don't necessarily want to hurt your feelings, and I feel like it's unfair, but I also don't want to walk away like I don't want to walk away like trashing you, but it's just not for me, and I don't know. I just
right.
But anyway, enough of all that. I'll have that conversation with him sooner than later, because I just had to realize that when I was on the phone, and it was like, and it's so funny because they said to me, so I mean, are you sexually attracted to him? And I was like, well, and it was like, stop right there. If you have to
Right,
put
if
a
you
well
can-
in
if
front
you
of
go,
it,
well,
and I was like, you know, because I was trying to justify, like, well, we already slapped and tickled already. Like we did we did a little like a Linus and Goofy type of slap and tickle type of thing. It wasn't, but that was okay.
Linus and Goofy.
Just a little. That's all. Just a
Never-
little Linus and Goofy.
Never heard that phrase before.
We just do a little Linus and Goofy. It's all right. Just, And
Freaky McNair says, child just says you, not me.
Well,
Listen, the kind of dudes that I mess with be like, well, are you sure? I mean, I can change. And it's like, oh, girl, I'm just like.
But then at the same time,
you're ugly. Jesus. You be trying to spare the girl's feelings, right? You just be like, it's not you, it's me. And what it is about me is that I don't like you.
I don't know.
Because they just don't get it when you try to be nice to the girls.
And I guess that's what it is I'm doing. I'm trying to be nice, and I just don't want to let them down and then there's a little, and I joked with him about this, there's a little bit of a stalker mentality type of thing. Like, not physically,
I know?
No, not physically in, I mean, you may know him, I don't know, but not physically in my presence. But like, as soon as I bump my phone and it says active or whatever, they're like, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? What's going on?
Did you ever let her touch your phone?
I was like,
she put a tracker on your phone, and that's when you are live.
And I'm like, what? So I don't know. Listen, and it's me. And like I said, I get to this point where I'm like, am I going to be by myself? Am I just going to be in my house with me and there, all the Golden Girls? We're all going to be sitting there, Dorothy, Blanche, and Sophia and Rose, and I just I start thinking about all that type of stuff. So I don't know, but that's just where I'm at right now.
Girl or man is too much trouble.
I mean, it is what it is, but I just have to sit down and just tell them. So I'll get to that point,
and you'll find the right one eventually.
Yeah, I mean, but I did go. So
then you'll die the next day.
Right? How about that? Like, that's the irony of the whole thing. Yeah, but and so eccentric, the stalking piece. So listen, while no one should ever have to go through that. I don't know how I would react to that. And I know people are like, oh, but I just don't know how I would react to that. So I'd
be like, listen,
that wouldn't be a good thing for either one of us. Because I think I'd be all in, just like everybody else. I'd be all in.
Girl, listen.
But I don't want that to happen.
I need you to hear me. Let's turn off your phone, put your phone away. Pay attention to me. Do not call me again. Do not text me again. Do not come to my house for any reason. If the house is burning down and you think I am inside, just let me die. Do not have any contact with me under any circumstances.
Well,
not by phone, not by text, not by email. Do not hit me up on Jack, Grindr, BBRT, Recon, Growler, Scruff, FetLife, Adam for Adam, Craigslist, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Snapchat,
smoke signals.
Do not take out a television ad. Do not send a messenger pigeon.
Right.
Do not send a candygram, a strippergram. Do not send flowers.
No edible
Do
arrangements.
not send me an edible arrangements. Do not contact me by mail. Do not have an intermediary contact me on your behalf. I do not want to have any contact with you. Have I made myself clear?
Yeah.
I wish I was joking, and I have not had to have that conversation, but I have. I had to be that specific because you'd be like, okay, girl, it's just not a match. So I'm just going to, sort of slowly let the conversation just wean off. But then, girl, they just kept going. So I was like, listen, do not. And I listed off just like that, like 30 ways you could contact me. I was like, do not contact me any of these ways. Have I made myself clear? Do you understand this? And so what I was doing was establishing a trail so that if they did continue, when I went and filed a restraining order on that ass,
this is the text message.
This is all of this, and this is their agreement that they understood what I said and that I did not want to be contacted under any circumstances. And finally, that got through to them.
Wow.
It was on. I literally listed off everything except the messenger pigeon.
Yeah. Or carrier pigeon, Freaky McNasty.
Right. So, because girl, they just did not get it. And because I was like, listen.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean, nice enough. But I will say this: I went to go see Don't Breathe 2. So and while I was looking forward to that, it was not as good as the first one.
I never saw the first one, so I don't do scary movies.
It's scary, but it's a thriller and it's intense. So I will definitely say that, and it plays on
my pressure. Listen,
but no. So here's it preys on all of your.
Come on, bougie girl. Do not reach me by railway. Do not reach me by trailways. Do not reach me in an aeroplane. Do not reach me with your mind. Do not reach me by caravan. Do not reach me by an Arab man. I don't care what you do. Just don't reach me at all.
Very clear.
Very that. Very that.
Yeah.
Listen, because the kids, and the thing is, you be like, I ain't even trying to fuck you that well. Like, if I had actually put some effort into it and was really interested in it, I can't even imagine what it would give then.
I just, but like I said, all is well. Hopefully we'll be able to get past this and so I'm sorry, I'll be fine.
Hopefully he'll be able to get past it. Feels like you're already past it and on to the next town.
There we are. Because I was just having conversation. I just had a conversation today with someone who I met on Facebook, and we were chit-chatting about stuff.
Oh, you be meeting trade on Facebook?
Listen, I don't reach out to anybody. They reach out to me.
It's always they reach out to me.
Yeah, and I
it's
might entertain the conversation.
You be looking at their pictures and be like, okay, you're cute enough. I'm going to entertain this conversation.
And that's all, entertain the conversation. And it was out of nowhere, it's like, hey, what's up? And I realized we had talked before. And then I looked at the past message, and I was like, oh, okay. So then he was like, hey, what's going on? And then you're telling me all this stuff about, I'm looking for someone to dominate me, and when I take the wood and all this, and I was like, so let me stop you right here first. I was like, so you are asking to be dominated, and so does that mean that you are looking for I said, let me clarify. Dominant does not mean that they are a top, whereas being submissive doesn't necessarily make you a bottom. But let me be clear with where I am. Mm-hmm. I am a versatile person that can switch. And so he's like, I didn't know all this stuff. And I was like, listen, so when you're talking about this, that, and the other,
Facebook, and I don't be putting but some of the girls do. I have seen Facebook profiles just like, I am a versatile top who likes it raw. And that's like, girl, this is a lot for Facebook.
Listen, and I'm not doing all that, but I'm not on Facebook. So we started having more conversation, and then you come out with the, I in his Facebook profile says interested in women. I was like, so are you bisexual? And then he's like, well, I'm driving right now, and but last woman I was with was 2 years ago, and I was like, you didn't answer my question. My question was, are you bisexual? Mm-hmm. And I said, let me be clear, you don't have to be put into a box. You can be whatever the hell you want to be. I'm just trying to clarify myself. He's like, well, I didn't really think about it that way. And I was
Were
like,
they
so
cute enough to justify all
it was
of this
it was a conversation. That's all. I was in a good mood. I was getting out the
Okay.
shower.
Okay,
I was putting my
all right.
lotion on. I was
All
like,
right.
okay, yeah, here
Sometimes
you go.
you're just
I was just in the mood for
to
that.
entertain it.
And then, you know, he wound up calling me. So I was like,
How did he
again,
call you?
through Facebook Messenger. You can call.
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
an automatic rap.
Well, that's fine. We had to, like, is this easier? Because he said he was driving. I was like, is it easier to have a conversation? He's like, all right, I'll call. Okay, no problem. So I was just
But
like,
you had
hey,
already talked to this person.
that was the first time we spoke on the phone together.
But you had communicated.
Yes, we had
via-
communicated before.
Oh, I was going to say
Yeah.
it because, no, that's automatic rap.
And so, you know, so it was like, you know, hey, so we were just going through the basics of stuff, and he's just talking about stuff. And I was like, okay, I get all that.
Mhm.
But I'm also in my mind saying, this is a chop for me because you are very new in the process. You have no idea what you even want. You don't even know how you identify that you have to identify as anything. And that's okay. But I'm beyond where you are. But let me help you with what I do know, what I, you know, how you can get from this place to another, and whether you're just happy with where you are. So that was a very short conversation. I was like, listen, I've got to go. I got a show to do.
Child, Tyra be stroking the fuck out of our egos. Keep going. Please keep going.
All the time, baby, all the time. If I'm ever in a mood, baby Tyra will get me all the way together. But yeah, I
Speaking
mean,
of moisturize, you know what I started doing?
This is a little different. This leg's not as shiny as it normally is.
Well, no, because this is from earlier today.
Okay.
But for my feet, because my feet, I'm doing the best I can, but I never will have pretty feet.
Listen,
but
as long as Mei Ling is there to moisturize and to scrub and they good.
I started putting shea butter, raw shea butter on my foot, and I just let it sit. It'll be like a solid layer. Like my foot will be a different color.
This is an aside. Please cover your microphone for a second.
Oh my God. But yeah, so that's my latest secret is when I get out of the shower, I'll slather like a real thick layer on till like the foot is a different color.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even try to like rub it in, but just put it on and put on the socks and then go about my day. And that keeps my foot moisturized throughout the day.
You know what, Tyra? I'm gonna go ahead and get me a matter of fact, I'm gonna go and use some actual shea butter scented baby oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and send you a video of me moisturizing. I got you. I got you, girl.
Shea butter, baby, fucking up your pillow
all the time. If you lay back down, oh my God.
Yeah.
But
so anyway, so you was moisturizing. He called you.
Yeah,
it was not a
match. It was just like, and I mean, he's someone that he seems cool enough to have a conversation with, but just we're not going on that road. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
like we're not doing that.
See, I have had too many conversations where I think we're just having a conversation and I go into that like Onyx educator mode where I'm just like, oh, well, let's talk about your kinks and fetishes.
Right. I need to start one, boy Midas. How about that?
But I think we're just having this conversation. They think they're being interviewed. And I'm like, girl, no.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. And so at this point...
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wall slides. You do that
Dylan.
And I'll make you my beneficiary and leave you all my bundles.
Tyra, I love you, Tyra. Hey, Dylan.
But yeah, so that's why I generally don't entertain those kind of conversations on Facebook at all, because it's not even that kind of a venue. Yeah. Because first of all, it always be the ones that don't have no mutual friends with me, and so then I'm like,
we did look at that.
Even really kinky. But then again, what I've also discovered is that just because we have a lot of mutual friends doesn't mean you're at all kinky at all. So I just generally don't entertain those kinds of conversations online unless they're cute, and I'm not immune to the cuteness. But then I establish it up front. Because if I think you're cute and want to have a conversation of a sexual nature, I won't come out with like, show me your ass like right away, but I will establish that I think you're attractive and therefore we can have this kind of conversation. If I don't come out and say that you're cute, then I'm not interested, because I don't want anything I say to be misconstrued other than you telling me your kinks and fetishes and us having a conversation about them. But if I don't say that you're cute, I'm only interested in an academic, altruistic way,
Okay.
not from a prurient standpoint. So.
Okay. Well, again, it was enough to entertain while I was in a good mood, and so that's where we are. So, will we have a conversation later? Nah, I don't know. Maybe. So, whether the guys of honest interest or just free balling and want to know what's up. It's you know what?
Sometimes
Bougie girl,
it's both.
It's both. And especially depending on the time of year. But yeah, it's both. It always starts off with that for a lot of conversations with the onyx piece, and then it just goes into something
right.
else.
They'll be like, "Oh, I see that you're a dominant. I want you to dominate me." And I usually have to be like, I will always come, and this is where I try to spare the girl's feelings. And I'm like, a dom sub or master slave relationship is just that. It's not the same as boyfriends or partners, but it's still a relationship, and it requires mutual interest.
Yep.
And then so I'll just sort of let that hang out there.
Yep.
Hopefully they'll get it. And then if they don't, since I have a slave and a boy, I can always be like, I have a slave and a boy, and I can entertain any. But which is actually 100% true, because I think of, and you know who I'm talking about, people who are in our organization who got like 5 or 6 slaves, and they got like this rotating stable because they'd be all excited to be a slave to sir blah 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 or master blah blah blah. But then once they get inside, they realize that it's 500, that they're in competition with like 500 other dudes and other people of other gender assignments. And this one-on-one time that I thought I was going to have you are now taking a number, because there's just so many hours in a day. Yeah. And so I'm just like, girl, I'd be like, I have a boy and a slave as it is. And the good thing about it is the boy don't live here. If the boy actually lived here, I definitely wouldn't be entertaining anybody else, because then I would legitimately having to be split my time between 2 people plus
your life.
In a week, 75% of that time I want to spend alone.
Yeah.
I enjoy being alone or doing whatever it is that I want to do.
Right.
So then to have to now add someone else and then split that 25% up. Now it goes from 12.5% for each to now we're at 8 1/3% of the time for each one. No, and I'm just like, no, that's unfair to you, and it's unfair to me as well. So anyway, we just went all the way off on a tangent. So, but this is what this show is about.
Yeah,
it's black, it's gay, it's kinky, and it's all human. There we go.
That's what it is.
Yes, math. Let me tell you. Right. Listen, the math is mathing.
Yeah, because I'm.
So yesterday, I had been, there's things that I've just been putting off, not because I've been putting it off because I'm lazy. It's not because of anything. So I was like, you know what? I need to get life insurance. So yesterday was my day to do that. So I signed up for that, and because I'm fat and 50 and a diabetic with high blood pressure, you got to do
you got to do all this stuff.
You got to do an exam and stuff. So I did the exam, and I have lost almost 30 pounds since the start of the year. So
good for you.
Yay me.
Good for you. And but you've lost like 900 pounds since in the past 3 years. Like this. So
I know. And I look at these old pictures and I was like, y'all was just going to let me look like that, huh? Y'all was going to let me walk around here 350 pounds looking like a blip. And y'all wasn't going to say nothing. And y'all call myself my friends.
Bitch, who's gonna tell you that? Who's gonna tell you that you're not happy with yourself? Who's gonna tell you that?
I guess.
Right. Who's gonna tell you that? Like, come on. People change when they don't like what they see, and then when it's something people change their behaviors when it's something about themselves that they don't like, or something that's what it is. It's an internal change for most people.
That is so sweet. And listen, you are cute too. I be seeing you when we go on these little trips with your little shirt off,
You
and your
know,
little hairy body and everything.
yeah, I
When
was
we
gonna say,
was in
it was.
we was in the hot tub and everything.
I'm
I
gonna go
see
ahead
it.
and admit it.
And he got money too. Oh, he got money.
But
Because
no,
them girls be traveling.
but listen, here's the thing. Special has the cutest fucking dimples and I'm sitting
Doesn't
there,
he
I'd be
though?
like,
I could just swim in those dimples.
I'd be sitting there like we were in the pool, and I was like, I felt like a stalker when we were in the pool in Florida. He was like saying to me, and I was in the water like,
He's so cute.
So I listen,
But
There
yeah,
it is.
so today I did that and I got that and my blood pressure was good and everything. But she was like, so let's all, I was like, oh, so it was good. So we did the weight and then we did the blood pressure. My blood pressure was good. They had to measure 3 times and each time the number was lower.
why are
So
they
like the
measuring
first
3 times?
because to get an average,
Oh,
make sure
okay.
you weigh like,
Yeah, I was like, what the?
because like you can, if you can, like I, you like,
Just calm yourself. Yeah.
but like each time it was lower, so that was good. And then she was like, okay, so what are your medical conditions? And I was like, see, here's where it starts to go south. And I was like, well, I got sleep apnea, I got the diabetes, and I got the high blood pressure. And then she was like,
there it is. And
she was-
that's what I mean.
Then-
All of that.
then she was like, what medication do you take? I was like, hold on.
It's like
like
all of this.
all right, page 1
right.
of the medications. And so I was like, all right. And then they were like, so does anyone in your family have a history of? And she was like, she started naming all. So I was like, yes, 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 yes. No, yes.
Like, but they're all deceased.
Right.
They're all deceased. So this is where I am.
Right. But so yeah, so that went fine. And she was the most hoodest, but most professional nurse ever. So she was hood, but she wasn't like unprofessional hood. She was just, she was just from Southeast.
She's professional.
You know, and she was talking about, yeah, she was like, yeah, I had to get a physical. This was like, yeah, and I knew my number was gonna be fucked up because I still smoke. And I was like, girl, you a nurse? I mean, listen, nurses are human. So
they most certainly are.
But yeah, so that was good. So I felt good about that. So I treated myself with an Italian sandwich. So
from the place that you
now I've gained 5 pounds. So
I'm hungry because I didn't eat it. I ate lunch today, but I'm like, I'm hungry. I don't know what I want to eat, and I feel like I want to. I don't know. I want to put my meat. I want to nosh into something. Yeah. I was going to make a steak, but I forgot to take it out of the freezer.
I always buy 2 of those sandwiches because and I bought a 6 inch because if you buy a foot long, then the other half it feels like it's 2 6 inches are better than 1 foot long.
And they also
in sandwiches.
They save
in sandwiches.
They save better as well.
They save better.
Yeah, because you can eat the whole 6 inch and even like, oh, if I get hungry, I eat the second one.
Right. So I did that and that was good. So and then yesterday I posted the pictures of those bracelets that I've made.
Oh yeah, I saw them. They look good on the picture because I like the little mirror.
How about I already got 3 orders? I've got 3 orders definitely, and like at least 4 or 5 more.
Bitch,
and I'm like,
make your money. Make your money.
And then they were like, well, how much do these cost? I was like, I don't know. And then so I started, I know. I got it. I got it together.
It was like, but you better add in the time and labor. And
of course, honey. I mean, this is something
shipping and the packaging.
You're not getting this for $5. I mean, they're all in the start is $20. And that's if you just want a basic one like I got with the colors on it. I already got a
well, why don't they just talk to you offline about that?
They talk about that, but Bougie Girl, I got one for you. I know exactly what yours is going to give.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? That's really so. Listen, I need to know about Mr. Bougie, because I don't know how I'm gonna do this thing with you all, but we'll talk offline about that. So I need to know something about Mr. Bougie so I can pull this together for y'all. So,
what are your colors? Blush and bashful. Well, all right. So let's see. We got a lot to talk about. It was kind of a slow news week, but we made shit happen.
Yeah,
so.
Slow news week, and I think more so. I feel like I was still in the mood, and I'm still kind of in that mood. I'm kind of coming off of it.
Yeah.
Hey Mufasa. I'm coming off of it, so I'm kind of even in this place where
Are these all of the stories for the links that I sent you that I had above?
Yeah, just yes.
Okay, cool. All right. I want to make sure that I need to open any more. What I do appreciate is that you have it all here, so I ain't got to go actually read.
That's why I was trying to, and I said, well, he put the links. I said, well, but we try to, we
work it together.
We work it together. Yeah.
So, RuPaul signs major scripted deal with Sony TV. So, she having freshly launched her production company Ruco and installed former State Street Pictures exec Jay Marcus as head of film and TV. RuPaul has signed a first look scripted TV deal with Sony Pictures that has a specific focus. The partnership will see Ruco produce scripted projects with an emphasis on queer character-driven dramas, comedies, and animated shows anchored in RuPaul's brand of empowerment, humor, and music. Speaking about the pact, RuPaul said, "Not only am I thrilled and honored to join the Sony Pictures television family, but I'm also extremely grateful for the opportunity to tell unique stories that push the conversation forward." In a personal and emotional additional remark, Sony TV co-president Jason Clodfelter said, "As a kid in high school, I was mocked for dancing to RuPaul's hit song Supermodel. I never imagined how many walls Ru would break down for the LGBTQIA plus and straight allied communities alike. Ru's love for all people correlates to the cultural specificity we crave in our storytelling at Sony Pictures Television. We are honored to be a part of Ru's continued history-making journey." Now, all I will say is that I need to see Star Booty as a scripted series.
Let me tell you something.
Cornisha, no!
Baby, if you have never seen Star Booty, you are doing yourself a disservice. When listen, get up whatever your drink of choice is, whatever your method of getting, if you want to smoke a little, whatever it is. But once you do that, you sit down, get your table in front of you with little munchies, whatever, baby, you will kiki like nobody's business.
I want to see that. I want to see, because she's good friends with Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
I want to see a fucking Jackie Washington scripted series.
That would be amazing. I would love she's gonna pop up.
I would love to see a scripted series with Shangela.
Let me tell you something. Miss Shangela is like one of the hardest working drag queens out there. Like all of them are like the ones that they're out there doing stuff, but she is hard working at all the time.
And you know who knows how to turn a fucking look? Always has, but I've just noticed it or paid more attention to it recently. It's fucking Bob the Drag
Baby, get into it. Get into it.
Bob,
get into it.
Look with the afro. I was
like,
bitch.
I didn't even catch the afro pick until I was like, wait. I said, bitch, is that yes, Bob, yes.
But Bob the drag queen turned a fucking look.
She drew me in because I have this thing about like I have old pictures of like my mom and my grandmom and them. And they have these in the 60s, and they have this, I call it this chalk white lipstick on. And my mother is probably like, she's a lighter skinned woman, like a caramel, but she had this chalk colored lip on. And I was like, what is going on? My grandmother is probably like 2 shades darker than me. She had this same chalk color. And I was like, what is wrong with y'all, this chalk colored lip? So when I see Bob,
the thing at the moment,
baby, when I saw Bob, I was like, "Come on, chalky lip!" And he was standing there with that pick and that afro. Listen, his afro was like this big,
yes,
and he was just like,
right.
Lips was all poked up. Bitch, I was here for it. I was absolutely here for it. One of my favorite pictures of Billy Porter was him with that damn afro and that damn chalky lip. He's like, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. But yes, she turns a look. And once again, I need people to pay attention on how to dress a fat bitch. Miss Eureka O'Hara. Let me not skate over.
Yeah, I didn't watch We Are Here came back for
it did come on
season, and I did not watch it yet.
But let me just say this. Always thoroughly put together. And that big bitch dresses down. She is always together. Because even looking at the cover of We're Here, Shangela came out with this, like her wigs and her, like Shangela looks great.
Shangela
Bob
is
turns a look.
Bob Mackie.
Yeah, she's a beast. But Miss Eureka, I see you because you are turning a look. Let me be clear with that. And it's not just, let me be clear. It's not just the how to dress a big bitch, but you give the girls on how the steps on how to dress a big bitch. But you look great. Let me be clear with that. But we're here. We'll talk about that in a second, though.
Right.
But in some other news, so singer and living legend Tina Turner has sold her music catalog to BMG. The catalog contains 60 years worth of music, including hits such as Private Dancer and What's Love Got to Do with It. She sold more than 100 million records over her impressive career. And the sale of the catalog means that BMG now owns the rights to Turner's shares of her past recordings. The International Music Publisher also owns the rights to the singer's name and image, the same thing that Anita Baker was fighting for. Warner Music will remain Turner's record label, and BMG is now a partner in her music ventures. The deal was reportedly worth $50 million. Now, here's where the problem comes in. The fans think that Turner deserves way more money than $50 million for her entire body of work. This technically gives BMG 50 cents for each album sold, which is the bargain of the century. Right. And the fans are complaining, saying, you were worth so much more than that. But here's Turner's thing. Since Turner's body of work is unmatched, she's won 12 Grammy Awards throughout her career and is beloved for such hits as Proud Mary, Cue the Wet Pocketbooks, unsolicited
Big wheel
plug.
keep on turning. Turning. Proud Mary keep on burning. Burning. Rolling, 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 rolling on the river. Go! All right. Oh, yeah.
Unsolicited plug, just by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, she feels that giving her music over to BMG or selling it over to BMG, that they're going to be protecting her body of work. And again, it was a personal decision. She said that it was important.
First of all, Tina Turner already got
and
like
she's already
$50 million. So she's not.
It's not about money for her at this point.
And $50 million is a lot. And no shade. But I think that $50 million is fair because unlike Janet Jackson, who is only 52?
50. She's 50. She's 50.
She could still, and she still, moves and all that. Janet could have 10 or 15, but 5 or 6 more good albums in her. So her catalog is worth a lot currently.
Right.
Tina Turner's legacy is all in the past. It's not still being built.
That is correct.
The last big hit that she had was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which is, it's hard to believe, but that was fucking 30 years ago.
Actually, what's the last I don't want to cry. That stuff, all that tour, that concert tour.
Right.
I don't really
but that was
cry.
That was a concert tour of mostly music from the 80s.
That is correct. But I think that was the only
90s.
new or original
hit
at that point.
So that's what I'm saying is that I know what people are saying, but your music catalog is based on one of two things: either your legacy or your relevancy to current music.
Right.
And based on her legacy, you might say, but a lot of Tina Turner's music, it's good. It's for a specific time.
Yeah, it's at least 20 years ago at this. Actually,
at least 25.
30, 25 or 30 years ago at this particular point.
Tyra, we already know that Tina Turner is heading towards the sunset. She's 84 years old. She has
some medical something going on,
chronic conditions. Like you saw like her face was all puffy and
but
stuff.
Here's the thing,
and so she's officially retired.
Yes,
from performing and entertaining. So her legacy is
set.
So that's why I feel 50 million is good. Whereas if Janet Jackson had sold her catalog
for 50 million,
you'd be like, well, why? Because you're only 50.
That was one album.
Years old, and 54. You still got at least another look. Cher. So like if Cher sold her shit for 50, it would be different because Cher is still touring and still whatever. Cher is still like an active performing artist, even though she may not have put out anything new recently. Tina Turner hasn't been an active performing artist for like 20 years.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not 20
and I'm
years.
sorry, I take that back. Janet was born in 66, so that makes her 5 years older than her.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Tina, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Ike Turner in 1991. Now this October, she's going to be inducted again as a solo artist. So let's just see what this brings. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, Really B.
Well, Really B, you showed up. I am so happy to see you. I just corrected myself.
Yes. So I think $50 million is, could she have gotten more? Yes. But I think, an artist whose legacy is firmly in the past.
Now, Mother Sherlyn V. Sarkisian. What?
Right. I still feel like people know who Cher is. They know. It feels like Tina Turner, they know as almost a caricature and an image. They don't know Tina Turner in the way that, like, people our age do.
Yeah, because
people who are 40 and under
may not
probably
know.
Don't, because Private Dancer came out in 84, so we were in the world then. I think if you weren't born, if you weren't around and unable to have like seen Tina Turner perform or hear her music, then she's just like, it will be like, oh, Ella Fitzgerald
she's that, like,
she's receding into the past along with Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra and she's Barbara Streisand and all of those.
Now listen, let me be clear. I have never seen Miss Barbara, but I'm getting ready to tell you right now, if I see a ticket for Barbara Streisand and it comes up again in the DC area, you do realize
$5,000.
Yeah, she's not $5,000. I do realize I'm going to go see Barbara.
Of course,
because baby, listen, Miss Barbara's pipes is unlike anybody else. Now, will I go see Cher as well? We sang that at my high school graduation, and I was so mad.
Why?
I was like, this is horrible. I didn't want to sing this song. Like, I was like, we can sing something else.
Well, as a class? Oh, that's
yeah.
Like 35 of
It was 28.
Oh, I was going to say, I cannot imagine 625 people getting up and singing anything.
Yeah, I didn't. Now, Miss Cher is like, listen, she's a goddess. Like Tina, she's a goddess.
I saw,
but she like defies time as well.
Like there's a picture of Cher at 26
and one of her
Cher at 76.
76.
And I was like,
she's like,
clearly time. She's a little older,
right?
But she looks like in this 76-year-old picture,
she looks
based
good.
on the 20-year-old picture, you would think she was like 40.
Listen, I'm here for, and Cher, she's very
surgery.
open. She's very open about her surgery too.
Speaking of good surgery, you know who got a good motherfucking surgery?
Who?
Motherfucking Martha Stewart.
Really?
Bitch, go look at a picture.
I haven't seen
of Martha Stewart side by side. Her, because you'll see it in the face. She was the crow.
Because she was looking. She was looking a little.
I mean, she's like 80 something. Almost.
Is she 80? Is she? I mean, okay.
Can y'all Alexa? How old is Martha Stewart?
Martha Stewart is 80 years old.
Ooh,
yeah, Martha Stewart is 80.
On, 80.
And she's
same age. Like she's same age as Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, but Nancy Pelosi wishes her skin looked.
Nancy Pelosi looks good though.
She does. Nancy Pelosi needs to find the bitch that Martha Stewart got. I feel like Martha Stewart found that bitch who did their face and then had them killed so that no one else could look as fucking good as Martha does. Because when I tell you that Martha went from looking like, she didn't look terrible.
See Martha. Let me see if we
she
can
didn't look terrible for 80, but she looked like an 80-year-old woman. She looked like a well put together 50-year-old woman. I mean, it was shocking, like how good she looked. And at first, I thought it was like Photoshop. But that's just what good money. That's good money, and real money, and good connections with a good surgeon will give. No, that's not Martha Stewart.
That's Martha Stewart.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Bitch, whoever your surgeon is, baby, she pulled you all the way together because Mother looks like she should be on one of the housewives in this picture. Mother has pulled it all the way together.
And you know what? Now
Martha.
There's a banana clip holding that skin all the way together.
Right, it's pulled all the way back. What's up, Spiller Boy? Hey, Lola.
So Martha Stewart's surgery.
Yeah, her surgeon. Yeah, and I was just getting ready to give.
Needs to get an Oscar or something.
Her makeup Oscar artist needs to get an Oscar.
Right.
But I was just getting ready to give Nancy Pelosi her props because we were just talking about her the other day. For 80-something-year-old woman, Nancy Pelosi looks pulled together, but baby, in comparison to these two together,
Right.
Miss Martha looks like a housewife.
And this one is more.
That's before, yeah.
This is the before, right?
So this is
this
that
was
one
the
right
picture
there.
that you see. That's the after picture that everyone is talking about.
Yeah.
Bitch, don't she look? She looks like a well put together 50-year-old woman.
She looks like any one of these housewives on Potomac or Beverly Hills.
But
or
the
New
housewives wish they could look that good. That's what happens when you got real money. That's that Karen Walker money. You know, when you be like, you know, how do you still look so good? Money.
Just like, but your hair was wet and it was dry. How did that?
Money. So yes, so good news for Superman fans. That includes me. The new Superman comes out as bisexual in an upcoming comic. The 5th issue of the DC comic series Superman, Son of Kal-El, will confirm that the new Superman, John Kent, child of Clark Kent and Kal-El, is bisexual after calling for Jay Nakamura, a male reporter. The series follows Kent as he becomes Earth's new Superman and grapples with the immense weight of his new gig. Nakamura, a bespectacled writer with a bubblegum pink mop, first appeared in the series' 3rd issue as a shoulder for Kent to lean on when the business of Superman got banged too rough. But in the upcoming 5th issue, coming next month, Kent falls for the journalist after he mentally and physically burns out from trying to save everyone that he can, according to DC. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. I am happy to see representation in comics.
But
there's no but.
However,
yeah, maybe let's go with a however, however, comma. As I'm gonna go ahead and
although,
however, comma, and I'm gonna go ahead and shout out another one of y'all classmates. I think Johnny Butler. However,
who the fuck is Johnny Butler?
Tyra, listen, we have, but anyway, on Facebook.
He's one of the high school.
I'm almost certain he did, but anyway.
That's so funny because I have a story to tell you about a mutual friend of ours who said, well, one of our Onyx brothers, right? And he was like, "Do you know this person needs to be a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, we went to high school together." And he says, he said, "Well, he and I, we're having dinner together." And then he talks about, he's like, he wants to top me. And I was like, I kikied for like 5 whole minutes. And then I called Guy Johnson. And then I said,
of all people,
because we all went to high school together.
Right.
And I said, "Did you know John Doe is a top?" And he was like, it was,
look at you crying.
It was 3 solid minutes of laughter on the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. He was your neighbor. I'm sorry. I thought y'all went to high school together. So I could be.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it was 3 solid minutes of laughter before we could even get our words together.
Listen.
But anyway, go ahead with your story.
But yeah. So, however, comma, I don't know. I don't necessarily like. I see how it fits for Robin. I don't know. I'm still kind of up in the air about this because I feel like there's a part of me that feels like the sexuality doesn't necessarily have to be included in the character. But I am. Let me be 100% clear. I'm okay with the representation. That's what I'm more so okay with. Like I like that. I like seeing that there. But I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about his son, about the new Superman. Or I guess
I guess it's fine. I mean, anyone who says it's an issue, I was like, well, you never had an issue.
It's not an
issue
with
Lois Lane and I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No,
that Superman's son could be gay,
right? And I think that's
bisexual.
I can appreciate that, and I can appreciate them talking about the struggle of being a teenage boy and trying to, or a teenage girl, or just being a teenager, period, and struggling with sexuality. So I can appreciate that. That part I can appreciate.
Right. Now, if y'all want to make the current Superman gay and have an on-screen kiss between Henry Cavill and Jason Momoa,
I mean, I'm not going to sit back and say that I would.
I would need to watch that. I would need to watch that at home.
I'm in. Just
even if I saw it at the theater,
give me a moment. Give me a moment, and at least one seat away, I need a tissue. I'm good.
Right. I would need to have a moment to myself.
I don't know. I feel like that would kind of be like dirty gut bucket, nasty, raunchy sex between them two.
So, and your problem is?
No, I'm just kind of wishing it. I'm kind of
okay. I was just like,
I'm wishing that into,
you know,
I'm putting that into the atmosphere. Like,
you know what? Okay, so I'm weird, right? But I also, well, first of all, I would love to see Cyborg get it on with either Superman or Aquaman, but only if Cyborg topped both of them. Well, he don't have no booty actually.
But I'm here for a threesome with them. I'm here for a threesome with all of them.
When I say no booty, I mean he physically has no.
Right.
Butt.
Well, yeah, we know. He has no booty. But I'm here for that. So
Exactly. Cue the Monique. I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think I would.
I even would like, I would like to see them run a train. Where do we go
on Batman?
This? On Batman, maybe, but definitely on the Flash. I like a twink that gets gutted out by the girls, and then I love those scenes.
I would choose Batman over Flash.
I like the scenes where the one dude is getting gutted out.
The dark Batman, the one that's like the dark Gotham.
Right.
What I'm saying.
So I like to see the twink getting gutted out, but then I love it when two of the dudes that's in the audience waiting to do the gutting get so into each other that they start fucking each other. I would love to see that. So like they all lined up to fuck the Flash, but then Superman and Aquaman start like touching each other, and then next thing you know, Batman is all perched up on the edge of the bed.
I mean, listen, what you're saying is this is basically going to be a room where you can just be throwing a whole lot of bleach afterwards. It'll be like,
right.
That's what I see. So,
right, and here comes Wonder Woman. What's going on here? Get out!
Get out, girl.
Get out!
Go, girl, out. Listen, out. Bye. Not right now. But anyway. But then again, we don't know because there's this thing that there's this the part of the Amazonian that she is that's very masculine. So she might come in and she might do some damage.
She might strap it on and
wear
the girls out.
Do some damage on a few people because I feel like
listen, they live on an island for the women, so it's never talked about. But there's got to be some some thespian action.
I mean, anyway,
lesbian.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it.
So, in other news, back on the green, Tiger Woods was spotted in Florida at a golf course with his son. He was spotted on the back on the golf courses as images surfaced of him speculating at a junior tournament.
Hold on. Etc. says, in practice, any sex with the Flash would be too quick. That's only if he's topping. I think if he's bottoming,
he might be an aggressive bottoming. He might be
he buck you off at supersonic speed.
Listen, that vibration.
It'll be like having a human vibrator. Can you imagine a blowjob for the Flash? Like, try to hold out.
I cannot.
I don't know how we got on this conversation. You are so nasty. Here I am,
angel saint, the patron saint of the.
See that halo? Get into it.
Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Tiger was spotted back on the golf course as images surfaced of him spectating at a junior tournament in Florida this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The 45-year-old golfer is watching his son Charlie competing at the event. He was wearing golf gear and had a sleeve on his right leg. His girlfriend Erica, who was also in the image, standing next to him. These are the first images of Woods in a long time, and he's been relatively out of public view since his car accident earlier this year. The car accident was in February 23rd near Rolling Hills Estates. He suffered severe injuries to his right leg and foot that required hospitalization and multiple surgeries, and one that even required a rod being placed in his leg. So the images of Woods with his son this weekend are the first ones of him without crutches since the accident. Charlie is 12, and he's been active in the sport of golf, competing in various tournaments. Tiger has made it a point to try to watch his son play in as many tournaments as he can. One of the most memorable moments of Woods' career was when he embraced his son after winning the 2019 Masters. Since late March, there's been no official word from Tiger's camp about his health or any plans to return to the PGA Tour.
So, because those were career-ending injuries that he had.
I believe so. And
because you think of golf isn't, it's may not be like the most strenuous thing, but you're literally standing on your feet.
You're
all
standing on
day, and
your
if your
feet.
legs have been crushed,
Your legs have been crushed. But see, the thing about golf is it is 100% mental, and it is the hardest game to master on the planet. It is, and as someone that played when I was younger, it was, and this was me and my stepfather. It's a very rewarding sport. The physicality of it, like you said, is not in the actual play. It is in the standing and in the walking, and usually carrying your bags and all that stuff. But
you walk a lot.
You do
doing
walk
with
a
it,
lot.
too.
But
Well, at least you could. You gotta have the carts.
yeah, carts are walking. But you have more mental anguish over trying to make this ball go all these yards and in these number of strokes to get into this ball, and you're facing all the elements. So it's mental anguish. So it can be draining. But listen, shout out to my stepfather. Thank you for teaching me that. And shout out to Chichi Rodriguez. That was my first set of golf clubs. That was a memory that just shot back in my head. So
they were boosted.
No.
Well, who the fuck is Chichi Rodriguez?
Chichi Rodriguez is a golf legend. And as a kid,
you mean because Chichi Rodriguez is the drag queen from Tu Wong Fu?
His name was Chichi Rodriguez.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you just like misnamed him.
No,
Okay, got it.
That was his name.
Okay. So in sports ball news, Raiders coach made racist comments about NFL players' union chief. So John Gruden, the now former coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, in 2011 used a racist term to denounce Demaris, or is it Demaris or Demaurice? Because it looks like D and then Maurice. So I'm going to say Demaurice Smith, the executive director of the NFL Players Association, who was black and has been facing opposition within the union to the extension of his contract. So the email just surfaced just hours before the players' representative for the 32 teams voted to give Smith a fifth term as the union's leader. I don't give a shit about this. So what Gruden said was he said that what did he call him?
He said that his lips were, here it is.
Yeah, I always use the Root article because, the Root gives us the black perspective.
Well, yes, but then there's something I wanted to give a perspective in here as well. But he said Dumboris Smith.
So
the thing is, they were doing a search of emails, and they were trying to they were doing a sweep of emails and trying to weed out inappropriate emails, and they were just looking for stuff within the league. With all the emails of people in the league. Right. And this email was written, and it was an exchange in between Gruden, who is white and was an analyst for ESPN at the time, and Bruce Allen, who was then the president of the Washington football team. And he said, Demora Smith has lips the size of Michelin tires. And that's what he wrote about Smith in the exchange. Now, the exchange was discovered. It was a review of workplace misconduct at the Washington football team that ended this summer. The email from Gruden denigrating Demaurice Smith, and that's what I'm going to say, Demaurice. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, please let me know. He said the email from denigrating Demaurice Smith is appalling, abhorrent, and wholly contrary to the NFL's values, which is what Brian McCarthy, a league spokesman, said in his statement. Now, the league declined to say whether Gruden could face disciplinary action, but Smith said in a statement that Gruden's comments are symptomatic of the challenges that Black Americans face. Now, go ahead. You're going to say something. Go ahead.
All I'm going to say is that when confronted with it, he went full white guy.
And
so he said that he was pissed at the time. So at the time, John Gruden was an analyst at ESPN, and unsolicitedly, he sent a letter to the president of the Washington football team. So that's how that happened. When confronted about it, Gruden said that he was pissed at the time because the 2011 NFL lockout wasn't going particularly well, and he felt some kind of way about Smith, who was leading negotiations on behalf of the players. I was upset. I used a horrible way of explaining it. I don't think he's dumb. I don't think he's a liar. I don't have a racist bone in my body, and I've proved that for 58 years. You just called a black man, said that he has lips the size of Michelin tires. What that got to do with anything? You could say, I don't appreciate his position or whatever. You said something racist, so you got at least one racist bone in your body. So that isn't the only thing. In other emails, according to the Times, Gruden referred to Goodell on several occasions using homophobic slurs and expletives. Oh, wait a minute. So The Athletic obtained an email in which Gruden referenced Michael Sam, the first openly gay player drafted into the NFL, and said Goodell should not have pressured then Rams head coach Jeff Fisher to draft quote unquote queers. In other emails, according to the Times, Gruden referred to Goodell on several occasions using homophobic slurs and expletives, and also called him a faggot and a clueless anti-football pussy, in denouncing the emergence of women as referees. He exchanged photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms, including a photo of two Washington team cheerleaders, and said Eric Reed, the former 49ers and Panthers safety who knelt during the national anthem, should be fired. And so for all of that,
listen, I just want, let me just, I would change.
I'm sorry, I jumped in.
No, I was just gonna change it. So listen, if you please look up DeMaurice Smith, because
is he gorgeous?
So for me,
Mm-hmm.
with some facial hair,
Mm-hmm.
he might.
He's not gorgeous. I mean, he's fine. He's
with some facial hair.
He's all right looking.
With some facial hair, I feel like he might have a bigger chance with me.
And here's the thing,
but
we all know Negroes with big lips.
Yeah.
We all know Negroes with big lips. DeMaurice has normal black dude lips. You know, they're a little bigger than yours or mine, but they're not big lips. And so for him to say, first of all, there's never a good reason for a white person to say you have lips the size of Michelin tires, just period, and then all of this other stuff. So John Gruden was about to be offered a $100 million contract as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And he has resigned.
Right. But the rumor, well, I don't know if it's rumor, but it's been speculated he's still going to be able to get his like whatever his retirement funding or pension was that he's already done. In
of course, because white people still get to do that now. You know, when black people say something crazy, you know, they get drummed out and it's a wrap.
So I don't know. Now, in this same vein, and although we're shifting gears, it's a different article. So Dave Chappelle,
I didn't watch it. I
haven't watched the special, and I understand that people are in arms and are upset at some of the things that he said. So let me be clear by restating, I have not seen this special as of yet. Not for any reason other than I just haven't seen it yet. I like Dave Chappelle. I think Dave Chappelle is funny. I've laughed at some stuff, and so, but Dave Chappelle, like Kevin Hart, like who else? Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Ellen DeGeneres. They're comedians. And listen, when you're a comedian, shit is up for fair game. Yeah. And my opinion, shit is up for fair game. And if it's funny, it's funny. Now, that does not. Now, again, like I said, I haven't seen it. So what he actually said or how he said it, it very well could have been, but I haven't seen it as of yet. But I also feel like at this point in time, there are some people that they are uber sensitive about things, and I'm not saying they should not be, but I do believe, just like with The Simpsons, as much as you may say about Matt Groening and all, they make fun of every single thing. Be consistent, and I'm okay with it. And I'm not saying that Dave Chappelle can't be an asshole. Listen, everybody, I can be an asshole. In fact, I might be being an asshole right now. But all I'm saying is, if it's funny, if there's something funny that you can make a joke out of it, okay, great. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I just you had something to say. Are you side
I'm not
me?
seeing. Yes.
Why?
I haven't seen this. I have not seen the special, but it's not. It's not. It's not equal. First of all, it's not equal opportunity. The special is what, like an hour and 10 minutes long. He spent 35 minutes of that special talking about trans people.
And again,
So
yeah.
here's what. So when he resigned from the Chappelle Show, he said he resigned because he was uncomfortable with the way that white people, specifically, that he thought was racists, were laughing at his joke. And it felt like he wasn't laughing with them. They weren't laughing with him. They were laughing. They weren't laughing with him in the Black community. They were laughing at the Black community. Okay. And that's what, at least the commentary that I've heard, Dave Chappelle did. He wasn't making jokes with the trans community. He was making jokes at the expense of the trans community. He said things like that he's a TERF. TERFs are trans exclusionary radical feminists. They are typically women, but other or cisgender women who don't believe that trans men are men, and that they should, that trans women are women. That's what trans exclusionary radical feminists. So that a trans woman is not a real woman.
Okay.
He also made fun of the genitalia of trans women, particularly those who have had bottom surgery. And we know that that's a very sensitive thing for
Absolutely.
them. And for someone to make jokes like that.
I know nothing about the context.
He is the person who said that he left a $50 million contract because he didn't like the idea of people not in his community making fun of him through his own art. Okay. Now he's turned around and did that same thing to trans people.
Okay.
Now he did use an example of apparently this white trans woman that he befriended. It was a comedian and some other blah, blah, blah. And but he was using it to punch down on the LGBTQ community, and that's not your place.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
It saddens me. Lola says there are some things that one should not say if one is not a member of the community one is discussing, no matter who you are. Exactly. In the same way, like, you and I could go to someone's house and be like, nice couch, nigga. Someone who was not, I don't even like, for like what Spanish people said, I'm like,
it makes my eyebrow go up a little bit.
A little bit, but I'm like, okay, he's from Puerto Rico, so I'm gonna let it.
It makes my
eyebrow let it slide a little bit because somebody in your family is Black.
But yeah. Now, so let me also be clear.
And I'm not accusing you. I mean, we're just having a conversation.
We are having a conversation, and I agree with you, Lola, about there's some things that you should not say if you're not a part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to see it, and I want to see how I feel about it because I want to see, it's kind of like for me, I have to see it for myself.
Yeah.
And just kind of feel
so that you're not being informed by what other people are saying.
Like where you're going with this, because could you have made, like the difference you were saying of making fun of, I'm sorry, what did you say? At the expense of, you said making jokes at the expense of the trans community.
Right.
Versus
when you are not you're not even what one would consider an ally, let alone part of that community in any way.
So I need to just see it. But
it would be like a white person making fun of something in the Black community that we're very sensitive about.
Okay. And I absolutely get that.
There's just no, to me, you're not a part of this community at all. And and black people, this is black. The B is for black.
Right.
Black people do this all the time. We have an experience, right?
Yes.
But we are then unable to see how other people with their own experience would have a problem with it. Like I'll see a black person say, "Don't call me nigga," but then turn around and call an Hispanic person a spick.
Right.
Well, if you don't like being called a nigga, why would you call someone else a slur? You know what I'm saying? So you should the expectation is that you would have an empathy because you know how it feels to have someone from outside your community to say that. Now, and I apologize for anyone who was offended by the use of the word spick. If I was Spanish and said that to a mostly Hispanic audience, then girl, we just amongst family, just like black communities on Def Comedy Jam said nigga, 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 nigga. And most people were fine with it because everybody in the audience, well, 99% of the people in the audience were black, and it was for a black audience. He is a cisgender black man talking to an audience of 99% cis people about trans issues in a derogatory way. So there's no way in my mind that you can make jokes about that without being offensive because you're neither part of that community nor are you talking to that community.
Well, and once again, I have not seen it, so I still want to actually take a look at it. I want to see where we are with it, and I'll see how I feel about it. I'm not discounting it or I'm not supporting him.
Yeah.
I just want to see what it actually
where
did.
Where were we coming back from? And we listened to that special. Oh, was that Travis? The Slave.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, it was The Slave. So we were coming back from somewhere. It was on like a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we were coming back from wherever the fuck we were coming from. And it was playing in the background. And this is the previous special where he spent this time talking about trans stuff. And I was like, and since I'm the master, I mean, I was like, we're not listening to this anymore. Mm. Because I was just like, this is offensive. And I've never had this experience of feeling like I was born in the wrong body.
Right.
Or being misgendered. And it's also that it's like, you see, let's take that there, right? And you see a lot of black gays defending Dave Chappelle. We all know black gay men who would get super offended if you call them girl, but will be quick to misgender a trans person. Well, girl, you didn't like it when I misgendered you, just as like a whatever. But then you turn around and they were born Bob, but now want to be called Angie, and you keep purposely referring to them as Bob.
Yeah.
So it's just that disconnect in how you've been treated and how you treat others.
And I absolutely get that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I respect that you still want to see it so that other people do, but I've not seen it and I don't have any desire to see it because for me, what I've heard about it from like a bunch of different sources is that it's more of the same that he did before. And because he didn't get punished when he said it the first time, he decided to expound on it. So I think it's fucked up.
Well,
that's me personally.
Fucked up is what it may be, but yeah, I need to look at it myself and kind of see what I gather from this. And again, because there are things that I watched. I'm like, you know what? I'm absolutely repulsed at just the idea that you even had the audacity to come out with that. And then there are other times I'm kind of like, well, I mean, so I don't know. But to be clear, my feelings on my community are the same. Like I am a part of this community, and
yeah.
So
I mean, we're allowed to have different issues, and that's why I'm not like we can't do this show no more because or whatever. I mean, we could have a difference of opinion, and you haven't even seen the show yet, and I just think that is that. And then
But if
people
you're
are
not trans,
also pointing to
you get-
exactly. But if you're not trans, I don't know that you get to decide, and that's the bottom line for me.
Okay.
If you're not a part of the community, again, I mean, we make jokes about women, but I would never make jokes about women or jokes about Jews or Muslims or any community that I'm not a part of that talks about their pain. And he knows what he's doing. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't like a throwaway joke.
He is
and
not,
whatever. When you spend 35 minutes talking about something, this wasn't a casual off the cuff comment about it. So this was
not a stupid man.
Right. He's right. So this wasn't like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know what I was saying.
I just want to see what he says. But for me, I guess I'm hoping that he's in the vein of, if you're going to make fun or make a joke about something, let it be funny. And I'm trying to figure out.
I found things funny, but I still think they're wrong. And then I'm like, okay, well, then I can't.
I guess I'm looking at the comedy.
Because it's easy for me. It's because I have the privilege of finding that funny because it's not my actual pain. I'm not saying I do, but if I found a joke about, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Yeah. What I'm focusing on is the comedy. Yes. I'm not focusing on anything that has to do with the sexuality, the community. I'm focusing on the funny first. However, if I feel that you are addressing the community and the person disrespectfully, then that's where I tune out. And I need to look at that.
I think that
and
if you're
see what that is, if that's making sense. I hope people are understanding where I'm coming from with that. I'm just trying to.
But I think if you're not a part of the community,
I also agree with that.
There is no non-disrespectful way to engage on certain subjects. Just like there is not a respectful way for white people to tell jokes about slavery. There's just no way. And so there is no way for a cisgender man to tell jokes about the trans experience. That's just where I stand with that. Okay. And then people are also just like, there's always that one Negro that white people can reliably point to and say, well, they agree with me. Flame Monroe has become that trans person. If you ever watched Tiffany Haddish's special,
I know who Flame Monroe is.
And she's but apparently Flame Monroe has her own.
Flame Monroe has her own issues with a lot
of people and
a lot of
communities
with her as well.
Right. So you can't necessarily be. I'm not going to say she's the Candace Owens of the trans community, but she's close.
Carved a lane that is very unique for her.
Right.
For those of you that don't know Flame Monroe, she is. I don't even know if she considers herself trans.
She does.
Okay, so she considers herself trans.
She talked about it in that special with Tiffany Haddish.
She's a parent of two or three kids that are
biological children.
Her biological children.
Because she transitioned later in life.
Yeah, at the time she was still living as a cisgendered man, and I think that wherever she is in her trans experience, she physically now has breasts. At least that's what I.
Yeah, she describes herself as a trans woman,
right? And so, but she's probably opposite anything that you might perceive. Well, I shouldn't say what you might perceive.
Her opinions are fringe.
Yeah, she's different than a lot
of what you would expect for the trans community. In the same way that people like Daenerys Harris, the girl that we were shocked to find out that he was heterosexual, the kind of mousy black guy. Remember, he was on Don Lemon's show. And he talked about when a black conservative goes to the Cheesecake Factory, and fucking Angela Ree and Mark, whatever from the Black News Channel was like, I just want to know where their brother was at the Cheesecake Factory, and fucking Angela Ree busting the laughter, so like him and Candace Owens, yes, they are black, but their opinions are out of the mainstream of black thought. And so the same for Flame Monroe. Yes, she is a trans woman, but I think her opinions in a lot of ways are out of the mainstream.
They are not
other trans people.
And that's the part. So but now as far as comedy is concerned,
She
again,
said some funny shit.
she said some funny shit, and that's just kind of where I'm at. Mark
Yeah.
Lamont Hill.
That was so funny. He was like, I just want to know why the brother was at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. So
I fucking bust out laughing every time I see that.
Anyway,
so we got a couple of funny things. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
So a couple of funny things. Adele moved to LA because she says she can't afford, quote, the same kind of house in London. Now, this is funny to me. Adele is worth $190 million. And she moved to LA because she said she can't afford the kind of house that she has in LA. Well, okay. I mean, in London. She moved to London because she couldn't find
to London as
she moved from London to LA because she couldn't find the kind of house that she wanted in London. She said she couldn't afford the kind of house in London. Now, this is why this is funny. Adele owns 3 separate mansions in the guarded community of Hidden Hills in Beverly Hills. She bought her first property in 2016 in Beverly Hills for $9.5 million. Then she bought a second home right next door for $10.65 million. And then this May, she bought another 4-bedroom, 4-bath home from Nicole Richie for $10 million. This is the proximity of those 4 homes. So, okay.
But why?
Okay, I mean,
1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th one?
It's 3 houses.
Okay.
These 3 houses. So this is the one and one next door to it. And apparently this is so she's no. She bought this house first. This was the second one she bought. And then apparently this is the house Nicole Richie used to live in that she bought. So now she basically owns all this that whole corner. And I mean, so okay, whatever. So when she talk about she can't afford because this page 6 story says that Adele says she moved to LA because she can't afford London prices. I was like, yeah, girl, but you just bought. You just spent $30 million. $30 million in real estate over the past 3 years.
Yeah, you just spent $30 million.
Right. She got a whole compound. So the last story to talk about I don't know. I wanted to say the straights aren't well, but Tamar Braxton takes to social media about refusing to pay half on a date. Quote, maybe I'm old school, but that ain't it. And then so blah, blah, blah. She tweeted the following. Is there something wrong with me not wanting to go half with a dude? I don't mind paying for both of us sometimes, but I'm not going half none of the time. It's a total turnoff for me. Do y'all guys think it's going half as sexy? Maybe I'm old school, but that ain't it. What y'all think?
Okay.
Let's agree that it's a non-fucking factor for one, but why is this an issue for some people? Like a lot of women or some women that I know and men are like, and the gays are like, oh, well, if you take me out, you're gonna pay. It was like, this is why you're alone. So
listen, what I definitely appreciate is if we're going out, please don't go out, and we've had this conversation. Please don't go out and make the expectation that it's going to be paid for, or you're going out and you're ordering shit that you wouldn't normally order for yourself, or you just go out with no money and no way of paying.
Right.
Please, at the minimum, be able to pay for what the fuck you order.
Right.
That's it. That's all I ask. Everything else is negotiable. At that point, if you're able to pay for it, not that I don't believe that you can, great. Somebody makes a decision. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for this. I'll pay for that. I'll pay for it this time. You pay for it next time. It's not really an issue for me. For me.
It's an issue for me because I've dated dudes in the past where their expectation was that I was going to pay for everything. And I'm like, why? That's because some people still have this heteronormative thing that, if you're a top or a dom that you're supposed to pay. And I'm like, I don't even believe that is applicable for most women. And like, here's the thing, don't. Here's the thing. If y'all are going to go out to Shea, blah, 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 every restaurant now got their menu online. You need to go look at Shea, blah, blah, blah prices and see if you could afford to pay for half of a regular meal. If you can't afford to pay half for a regular meal, then you need to say up front before y'all leave the house that Shay blah 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 is out of my normal budget.
Can we go someplace
Can we
else?
go? Can we go half?
Right.
Or can we go someplace else? And then
I never saw anything wrong with going half with it on the menu.
Me
either. I don't see this. I don't see what the big deal is. That's me. Now,
bougie girl.
Abby says,
Abby.
if you ask me on a date, my expectation is that you are paying. Just like if I invite a man out, I expect to cover it since I invited you out. Well,
I mean, yeah, I mean, but that's good. But then, you know, at some point, once y'all are dating, I mean, I still think that there are some people, we'll say women and gay men, who have this expectation that one party is always supposed to pay, which I hope that we're getting away from.
Listen, whoever this husband is, my future husband, whoever you are, baby, it's all right. We can split it down the middle. I'm good. We can split it down the middle. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, when we go out, I mean, half of the time,
split down the middle.
Even when I'm watching
a white floppy penis.
I'm so pumped over these new Superman issues. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who you are.
They'll know. They'll announce themselves.
Baby, you have just, you have made a presence in this chat today.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm fine with it. But I mean, you know, the slave and I go out, and you know, we usually pay. We usually go half. And I mean, I still get the fuck every time I go out. So it's not that. I think, you know, people need to think about where these things come from. And, you know, they come from this, you know, women are, you know, when women didn't have money.
Now here,
you know, and you sort of had to like impress women. I mean, you still got to impress women, but you know,
Mr. Bougie, they switch it up depending on whose pay schedule. Okay, and I even
get that. Well, I respect that.
I respect that. That's great. That's fine. I think that's absolutely wonderful.
And Tyra is also a very independent woman. So
I think that's the point I'm trying to get to. People, if you're just like you said, let's not go. If you're not going to take yourself to Shay whoever or Shay Magnifique or Couture, whatever, if that's not what you do for yourself by yourself, why are you expecting other someone else to do that?
Right. I mean, it goes back to this whole thing about roles and, you know, this expectation, you know, that you got to impress me. And it's like, no, we need to impress each other. And what we need to impress each other with is our ability to be good partners, not at least in my opinion, the ability to be good partners, not, you know, who's, you know,
baby, that was one of the first
conversations. Gold cars got the highest limit on it.
That was one of the first conversations I used to have with my ex. To be like, "Are we going out?" It's like, "Where are we going to eat at?" Like, "You got money?" It's like, "Yeah, I got money." Oh, okay, we're going out, right? It's like, "Oh yeah." Or we'll go out and be like, "Well, I want to have such and such." It's like, "I don't have any money." Like, "I got money. You want to go? Let's go." Like, that's just how I feel about it. But everybody's different. So I you know, but this really shouldn't be a factor.
Now, we also must say that, you know, Tamar ain't got Tony money.
She don't have Tony money, but
got money.
She ain't broke.
And, you know, she's not married anymore. So, I mean, you know.
She ain't broke. She ain't got Herbert.
She probably got dudes that's one.
She got Herbert child support maybe, but that's about it.
She got a little money from her little singles and stuff.
He was her manager, so he took 30% at least. Let's not forget that. And I watched something the other day, which was really interesting. It was Miss Taraji P. Henson. And she talked about how for Benjamin Buttons, how she made $150,000 for her role in Benjamin Buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, but let's break that down. She said $150,000. She said from the door, 50% of that is gone.
Right, for taxes.
She said for taxes. It's like, okay. She said, but then you have to give your 30% to your people that you pay or whatever. She said, but it's not 30% of what you got. It's 30% of the 150,000.
Right.
So she said that goes down. She said, so then you also have to factor in the fact that you have to factor in your time spent in making this movie, or that you are blocked up for the next 5 or 6 months that you can't make any extra money.
Right.
So she said, let's break all this down. She said, at the end of the day, my son's tuition was $30,000 at the time at the school for the year. She said, that's exactly what I was able to cover after I made that movie, which was my son's tuition for the year. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find another gig.
Right.
So I get it.
Right.
Like, but with Miss Miss Tamar, I feel like she's probably in that same bracket
Mm.
with her record sales, her albums, her, you know, whatever her contract was. She's still paying. She's paying out as opposed to bringing in, because she hasn't made any. Let me correct myself. I don't know if she has any new music on the horizon or a new EP or LP or something coming out, but where's your money coming in at?
Spesh says, I always go out expecting to pay for the whole thing, and depending on how it actually shakes out, it tells me something about the other person.
But why? Why?
Well,
so Spesh, hold on. Spesh, why? Why do you go out expecting to pay for the whole thing? Why is that?
Well, for me, at least in the past, I have typically dated people who I know from the jump aren't in the same financial position that I am.
Okay.
But I never, as a rule, I don't be like, oh, I'm going to pay for it. And so exactly, then I'm prepared and not disappointed. Right. But then when, because when the bill comes, everybody is like, ooh, look at this lint in my pocket, or let me go to the bathroom, or know what time it is, But when they reach for the bill and start reaching for their wallet, and then I'm like, oh, well, we can at least go half. Or they'll say I'll pay. Then, for me, that's a point in their favor. Anytime, because I go out to places that I want to eat. So I'm prepared to pay for that.
You're going to go regardless of who's with you.
Exactly.
Regardless.
And I would expect that we're both dudes. So I would expect that another grown-ass man doesn't expect me to pay for their fucking food.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
right. And definitely if I ordered the tomahawk chop for, or if I ordered, if we went to Del Frisco's, and we already know the bill's gonna be like $120,
right?
But then on top of that, I ordered the Wagyu beef, which is $100 by itself. Then at a minimum, I'm going to pay half, if not more, to cover my half, because I wouldn't do that. But for me, it's a sign of not so much financial maturity, but emotional maturity to be like, oh yeah, girl, we're going to split this down the middle, because after 20 years of being in generally unequally yoked relationships, financially, and emotionally, and whatever else.
Well, let me get through. That's
so we ain't got all that. We ain't got the massage. It's good to be in a relationship with someone who, when the bill comes, we already know. But it's sometimes we will treat the other person, and then neither of us feels bad when the one person pays the whole bill, because there's the expectation with me and the slave when we go out is that we will go half. That's always the expectation. And then when one of us picks it up.
But again, you're also dating you're a slave that is already independent. He's independent in the sense that he's like, I'm good.
Right.
I got this.
Right. Exactly.
I got me.
Vince discovered managed Gaga.
Yeah.
He got long money. Yeah.
Wagyu waterfall moisture.
Yes, Wagyu.
Yeah.
I've actually never had Wagyu, because every time I go out,
I had meatball. We had meatballs at that time at which they were really good.
They were delicious.
They were
but
really good.
A Wagyu meatball is different than a Wagyu ribeye.
Oh yeah, it really is. But anyway, hold on. Check out this beautiful bean footage, and we'll be right back to close this show out for you all.
Now
Okay,
you
wait,
wait
hold on,
just
hold on, hold
a
on,
goddamn minute.
hold on.
Kai made Wagyu brisket.
When was this? Because I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, when was this Wagyu? Because it can't be when we were there for the 4th of July. Because if that was Wagyu brisket, then, you know, are y'all looking for a third for a thruple?
4th of July. This past 4th of July?
No, when we went a couple of years ago.
Oh,
I was like,
no, I was there when we were
up on the rooftop.
We saw the fireworks.
But before that, Kai and Spesh fixed us this whole fabulous spread.
I was there for that because Kai made the hamburgers.
He made a brisket.
He made the hamburgers. Did I have the brisket?
He said, no, I think that was another time. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, because I was going to say, I feel like if you had said this is a Wagyu brisket, I would have remembered that.
Because then I was about to say, is this yet again once another event that I've been blocked out of?
Oh, that wasn't brisket, that was pork that time. I know it was something that was low and slow.
At his house, though. Okay, because is this another
Yes,
time
it was at his house, which is next door to his house.
Now, because before we went to the other place where it was like...
They lived in the same building, but it was like different floors.
Yeah, but Kai was on the ground floor, and we had the outside little patio thing we walk in with the big chair.
Mm-hmm.
Is that next? That's not.
No, they don't. Maybe they didn't live. Maybe they did live next door.
So I think Kai moved from there, and
I thought special,
or it was a special.
Either way. So it wasn't that time anyway.
Okay, all right.
So next time we come to Atlanta, there will be a Wagyu brisket, and yes, tomahawk. I'm gonna whisper it to you at your wedding, Tyra.
And a whole custom bedazzled. Listen, I am looking forward to this event.
Yes, it's going to be fun. And Guy Johnson is the officiant, so this.
Are you serious?
Yes, so it's going to be a whole mess.
Come through.
It's going to be a whole mess.
Listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Oh, Tyra, you did get my email, right? I never got a response from you. I res-vipped.
And listen, I do apologize, but I did drop that thing in the mail on Sunday, but I did respond to you via Messenger as well.
I sent the email because I was like, I'm already late, so let me go ahead.
Yeah, I was late.
And get you with this email.
Email. And I looked at the date. It did say October 2nd, so I was like, oof.
Right, it's like, oof, I'm a little late here. Well, all right. This has been a fun and entertaining evening, and Epic and I do engage in lively debates, but let us be very clear that, there is no air between us and our opinions. But when you are friends with someone, you can have a conversation.
Absolutely.
And this show would be no fun if we were both always on the same page about everything. So don't be writing no angry letters to the producers.
Yes.
But you know what the cute thing about it was that on the RSVP, it says this is an RSVP for you only. So in other words, don't be bringing no extra bitches to this wedding.
No. It's just this. Listen,
this
I'm trying
just
to.
You don't be like RSVP for me, for you, and so and so and so and so. No, girl, it's just you.
I am trying.
This is not for you and your, and your family and your kids. I once went to a wedding where I was like, where all these kids come from? And, the bride was like, she grabbed my hand real tight. She was like, we'll talk about that later.
And you sitting there like, okay, girl.
Right. She was like, this is not the time. But she's like, just know that I am pissed.
I know that's right. And I'm so sorry.
That's why I got the chicken, because I was like, the beef is probably expensive. So I ordered the chicken. Plus, I feel like I eat a lot of beef. So I was like, let me have some chicken.
Sorry. Well, listen, girl, you can change it to whatever you need to change to.
Right. She said, I lovingly and humbly.
And I get that because it's all about the planning as well. So
right.
I get that. I get that.
She'd asked for a dime.
No, she's not.
Right. I need to go to the site to figure out what to.
Oh, damn that! How about I'm all. I'm off because I was like, tell me, I don't know about Mr. Bougie, but I'm like, okay. Yes, I did.
Tyra, we'll talk about that separately.
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, you know what? This has been a wonderful show.
Absolutely.
I started the show. I was in a shitty mood prior to the show, but the show,
I think we both were kind of in like,
But the show always, enlivens
It's cathartic.
us.
It's very cathartic. It kind of gets you in a different.
We just
place.
need a regular studio.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in the Gay Boy Mansion, and
but I'm tired of setting up the Gay Boy Mansion every
well,
week. So
yes,
figure out
which
how
is
to
one
make
of the things
work.
that I actually enjoyed about
the other spot.
The other spot,
just
House and Ever,
just rolling in that.
Yeah,
girl.
rolling and rolling out. Like, all right, good night,
bye. Thank you all. We appreciate
bye.
you.
Which I haven't heard from. Well, I don't hear from him, but I wonder how he's doing. Our producer, Robert.
I know who you're talking about. Not Reggie.
Not Reggie, but it was Richard or Robert. We'll go with that.
The older guy.
Yeah, Richard.
The cool guy. No,
Richard, Robert?
No, it was something else.
We'll go with that. Him. Yes, the cool
guy.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, who I kind of feel like was starting to come out of his shell a little bit. Like he was kind of.
Yeah, well, I think he was like, I don't know how you feel about these homos. But then once he realized that,
not like he was getting ready to come.
Not like I don't think he was homophobic at all.
But he
just didn't know us.
And then, going on? So
yeah,
but anyway, so
if the prices was lower, I would go back.
Oh, absolutely. And I might want to hit him up and see. But what
right, and be like, hey, you still in business? If you do it for $100 a month, then we might do it.
We'll
talk about that offline. All right, so we've had a lovely show.
Drinks and snacks. That is correct. That is correct, Bougie.
Well, eventually he did. He set that up
for us.
He set that up because other people
didn't.
Because we treated the show like it was like we was on the fucking Today Show from the beginning.
Right.
Other people was in there drunk, spilling liquor and water and snacks and shit all over the place. So he put the rule in. But once he realized that we knew how to act, then not only did he allow us to bring whatever, he gave us
he was giving
water and stuff. He was like, you'll do whatever you want because we knew how to act.
Yeah. So that's just kind of where we are. So, but anyway, thank you all so much. Thank you all for coming into the Gay Boy Mansion. Thank you for inviting me into the Gay Boy Mansion. Let me be clear. But we definitely appreciate you guys spending your time with us. I am always open for debate and questions, just like that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So again, while we are chatting with you guys and sharing with you our thoughts, we'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on stuff. So please, keep chatting with us, keep us up at the front. If you have something to say, don't get in the back and hide like you want to say something. You don't want to say it to us. Come on, say it to us. That's a conversation. That's what we like.
Exactly. So we've had a wonderful time. And with that, I will say thank you all for coming out. God bless you. And good night.